What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are going to talk about the ISO and T4 priorities for Secret Avengers. We have two of them out already. We're waiting for Maria Hill to come into the game. She's probably going to be a Blitz character if I had to guess. But so far, I'm really enjoying these two characters. They're quite good in the raid. We'll do a video talking about that later, especially Captain America. You see, I've only got 2 stars on him. Only pulled 2 red on him, so I'm not really going to bother with welling out on him too much. Scopely, you lost out on money because your red star system sucks. But yeah, drop a like down below if you agree the red star system sucks. But anyways, let's talk about the T4s and the ISOs for these characters. My ISOs on there are a little bit unconventional. I'll talk about why I chose these over some others, what you want to prioritize for them if you're going into the raids, and really what T4s you should be focusing on for these characters. So let's start with Sharon Carter. She was the first one to come out in the game. I have 2 T4s on her right now. The special T4 does give ability block for 2 turns on the primary target. That is very, very big. That's like what you have with Baron Zemo and some other characters. If they get ability block for 2 turns, that's a big deal. That's something you definitely want to prioritize. That's why I did it here for her on her special. Her ultimate clears all positive effects from the primary target with a T4. Very helpful as well, because you can use this to, let's say like you're in the boss node for the skill nodes and you have that Ebony Maw on the enemy team. Sharon Carter goes before him. She's able to use the ultimate to clear all positive effects on him, apply stun and slow, and you're automatically able to take him out for a couple of turns there, because if you don't get rid of him, you don't get him ability blocked or stunned, he's going to give that offense down to your team, defense up to his team. He does that whole Hell Steel ability. It's a mess. You want to make sure that Ebony Maw is controlled very quickly. That's why I did this as one of my first T4s for Sharon. That ability block on her special is also very, very helpful. For Sam, there's a few T4s here as well that you want to go for on him. The first one that I recommend in terms of all T4s for Secret Avengers is the special on him. Taunt for 2 turns, 3 deflects, and applies ability energy to 2 to 3 non-summon skill allies. That's very, very helpful. Taunt for 2 turns and gaining 3 deflect. It goes up from 2 deflect up to 3, and it goes from a 1-turn taunt to a 2-turn taunt. Now, this is very, very helpful. This does kind of interfere a little bit here on his passive, where if he let's see, where is it? At the end of any turn, his character has taunt and no deflect, clear taunt, and gain 2 regeneration. He gains 3 deflect at the start of the fight. He uses this special turn 1, possibly. He can use that ultimate turn 1 as well, but this will refresh the deflects on him, give him a 2-turn taunt. He'll probably lose that taunt eventually, because once he loses that deflect, he clears taunt. So that is a bit of a problem, but this is a 3-turn cooldown. If luck is on your side, he's going to give himself ability energy with this as well, so you'll be able to use that taunt a little bit quicker. And then this ultimate, they've changed the wording on this. It kind of diminishes the value of this T4 just a little bit for me, but it's still a very valuable one. For each enemy remaining, fill the speed bar for self and all skill allies by 5%. That now goes from 5% to 10%. All other allies gain 5% instead. This used to be, at least as we thought, that it would be 5%, additional 5% per enemy, but it's after the enemies are defeated. Whoever's left will give speed bar. Bit different than what we were expecting. That's why that value has gone down a little bit, but this is still a very, very good T4 to have, especially in that skill boss node. Like we said before, you're fighting 7 or 8 enemies on that first wave. You use this, you're probably not going to kill everybody, so you're talking at least 60-70% speed bar boost to your entire skill team. That is huge. That is a very, very valuable T4 for that. This is also not just for raids. You're going to get used for this outside of raids as well. If you throw him on war defense, which I think he's going to be a great war defense character, he uses this ultimate turn 1. Now his whole team's probably going to get 50% speed bar as well. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So I definitely like what this can do for him, not just in raids, but outside of raids. So that one's gonna be very, very nice as well. This passive, I'll probably do this later. The plus 10% block amount, he's gonna be deflecting all the time, so he's blocking. Plus 10% max health for self and Secret Avenger allies. That's gonna help with the healing with Maria Hill. Sharon's kind of fragile, so bonus health for her is always helpful, and bonus max health for Falcon as well. That's you can't really go wrong with that. So I'll probably have that one in the future. But then we go over to Maria, and Maria has quite a few. Number one, this passive, it's only plus 15% healing, but this changes her heal from 15 to, or sorry, from 10 to 25% of her max health every time an ally blocks, a 50% chance to heal the most injured ally. If this is T4, that's 25% of her max health. That's a very, very big heal. Always happens in raids. Very important there. She has a huge health pool as well. So if someone blocks and this triggers, there's a good chance she's going to heal someone back up to full with that. That's very, very helpful. I also like this one. The ultimate here. This is probably going to be my next priority for Maria. Clears all negative effects from self, Avenger, and skill allies. That's also good. But then also her special summons 3 shield troopers. That 3 having guaranteed 3 shield troopers on the field. They also get offense up, defense up, and death proof. These are positioned next to Sam. Sam's gonna be constantly taunting. Those shield troopers are gonna be gonna be countering because of their passive. It's a big deal. It's definitely one you want to have. So yeah, this is a big one. And honestly, the crit reducing speed bar, that's not really gonna worry about that. But just the fact that they're gonna be constantly countering if they're positioned next to Sam, that's a big deal. Now, her basic as well will always apply deflect to the most injured ally. Probably another one. Looks like a character you're going to want to drop all T4s on eventually. But for now, I think you can get away with the passive and the ultimate. Special's very nice, but not really required. But the bottom 2 T4s, definitely ones you want to go for. I think this team, it's not necessarily T4 required. You're not required to drop these T4s, but these are T4s you drop on them, you're going to get a huge return in the value on them. So do keep that in mind. Now, also, one other thing, the passive on Sharon, really the basic on Sharon, really no need on dropping this T4. And for the passive on this, I can't really recommend this one. It goes from 220 to 300% bonus focus if she has deflect. I don't really like this one. I think you can totally bypass this one as well. Both the passive and the basic for Sharon are completely optional. And for this one here, also this basic for Sam, I do like it because he can bonus attack with this, and he's always clearing a positive effect from a primary target. This is a very, very nice supplementary T4. However, this will not clear positive effects if he's countering. We'll talk about that in their ISOs and their bonus attacks here in a minute. But you're not going to get that bonus clear of positive effects from the primary target with this if you do drop the T4. So do keep that in mind if you are going for the counters on him. You're not going to get the clearing of the positive effects here. Unfortunate, but he does have a pretty strong counter as it is. So let's talk T4. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. Maria Hill, you're going to go healer. There's really no other need to go for anything else on her. The more healing she does, the better off it is. So healer is the way to go for Maria. You could go for Raider on her, or Raider, I think, because she does attack all enemies here with her ultimate. So you do get some use of Raider here. She can apply defense down as well with that, so you can see bonus focus with Skirmisher, I guess. But healer is just such a good option for her. I can't really recommend going for any other ISO class over that one. For Sam, I've got healer on him because he has a stupidly high health pool. He's got one of the best health pools in the game. In fact, if you look at it, we'll pull up the stat table here. If you look at health, Captain America's Sam is number 2 on the health pool behind Adam Warlock. Very, very huge health pool. And if you have that healing, that healer ISO on him, well, he's constantly healing people on his turns. I just like that. I do like also Skirmisher. We'll talk about Skirmisher and Striker on him as well. You can make a case for Raider as well with him too. Raider with this attacking all enemies for damage. If you get Raider on this, you get multiple critical hits. You got vulnerable out on multiple targets. Also, he gains counter. He does get a lot of counter. He doesn't get it here. He does have to use a special first, but he gains 3 stacks of counter with this taunt ability. So he's going to counter 3 characters with the Skirmisher on him that's going to apply vulnerable to them. And then you can follow up with Striker on Sharon if you want to. I think that one's going to work really well. In fact, if you go and look at the Striker ability for Captain America Sam, he gains +1 deflect up to a maximum of 5 every time he counters. So he counters, he's going to get that deflect right back as well. That's a pretty big deal. So Skirmisher, I think, with the counter on him works very well. Raider has some use. Healer is great for him if you're going for high health, the high health pool, and lots of healing, a lot of sustainability. I think Healer is going to be working great for war defense instead of Skirmisher. We'll see how that all works out, but yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with Healer, Raider, or Skirmisher or Striker on Sam. Any of those four will work just fine. In terms of Fortifier, I don't. I mean, at some point, maybe at some point in the future, Fortifier will become a useful ISO to have. But I mean, I mean, yeah, there's really no point in going for Fortifier on them until we get tiers 4 and 5 on Blue ISO. There's really no point in going for Fortifier, so you can ignore that. For Sharon, I've got Radar on her right now because I'm trying her outside of raids. But inside of raids, especially if you have that Skirmisher set up on Sam, Striker works very, very well. If you go and look at her bonus ISO attack, if in raids, if Captain America Sam is an ally, reduce speed bar by 25% to primary target. So you can do a double tap with this basic where it reduces the enemy's turn meter by 50%. That's huge. So that is very helpful there. Also applying speed slow for 3 turns, so she uses like ability block and defense down, and then that target also has vulnerable on them. Then she applies speed down for 3 turns. Same thing here. She applies stun and slow, but now that gets upgraded to slow for 3 turns. This is a very strong Striker character because that speed bar reduction, that is only for raids though. So if you are trying to use her outside of raids, Striker does lose quite a bit of value here. But Raider also works well because she's attacking primary adjacent targets. She's clearing positive effects on the primary target, attacking them, and chain up to adjacent targets. That's why I have Raider on her, because I'm trying to use her outside of raids right now for some stuff. So we'll see how that works out. But Striker, I think, is obviously the best option for her. Skirmisher, there's really no need for Skirmisher. Raider, because of the multiple targets. Healer, she doesn't have a huge health pool, and Fortifier is useless. So, I think Raider and Striker are definitely the best options to go for with Sharon Carter. So that's it for our ISOs and T4s. Let me know down below, what do you guys think about these characters? You guys trying to find uses for them outside the raids? Let me know down below. As always, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.